TradersPost for September 17th, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike, the best of us, Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. And today, we're trading prop firm accounts. On this illustrious Fed Day, some might say the most important Fed Day of all time, until, of course, the next Fed Day.
It's usually how it works, right?
That's right. The big question here is that this is not, as far as Fed days are concerned, this is falling right on the near quarterly expiration. September quarterly expiration is at the end of the month. We have expirations for the day, week, month, all gearing up. And for some people, if they're not closing out the books for December, this might be their year end as well. So there's a lot of volatility that can happen within the option space, within the derivative space, that could whipsaw the market pretty drastically and then launch us in a trend that we're not necessarily aware of. In fact, looking at the charts, Mike, I don't know how it is for you. I've been looking to see, okay, what has been the trend that's been determined from yesterday, from the overnight, from different markets, and all I'm seeing is sideways action. If I take a look at the NASDAQ,
basically everybody just stalled their trading until the Fed decision is made. So we have over 4 hours before that decision is made and the new rate is released. We've got people out there that think there could be as much as a 75 basis point cut. I don't know what you're seeing in the poly markets betting market. What are you seeing in terms of distribution of bets there?
Wait, you're seeing 75 basis point cut? That's crazy. Actually, the odds in the poly market for the for 50 basis points came down pretty dramatically.
Okay.
I'm still...
Let's look at the Fed Watch tool. There's about a 5.9% chance that we see a 50 basis point cut. And yet some people are very confident that the Fed is going to make that kind of cut. The futures market is anticipating a 94% chance that we see a 25 basis point cut. So some of these bets are pretty big for such a low probability. I'm fairly certain that the Fed is going to take it easy on cuts. Even some of the institutions are expecting 3 rate cuts for the rest of the year and only by 25 basis points each. If we look at October 29th, we've got a 75% chance of another 25 basis point cut. And December 10th, we have a 70% chance of another 25 basis point cut. So that's 3 25 basis point cuts, 75 basis points by the end of the year. I'm not seeing the probability of 75 at this point, but nor do I think the Fed is going to bend very quickly to any outside pressure to cut rates rapidly.
Well, there's no way that they can do 75 basis point cut. The Fed is in the business of low volatility, and the last thing they ever want to do is throw a grenade in there going, hey, we're going to do something we've never done before.
Right, exactly.
Even when they were doing the 50 basis point rate hikes because of the whole inflation thing, they had already screwed the pooch. They had already Amber Heard the bed by waiting too long to increase rates, and so they jumped to 50 basis points, and then that just sort of became the norm for these these moves, and so they set the norm for that. Here's my argument for 50 basis points, because I know the market's priced in 25 basis points. That should be the overwhelming consensus as to what's going to happen. But one, the jobs numbers, at least we're going by reported numbers, the jobs numbers are terrible. 2.1 million jobs lost, revised down over the since 2023, and so that includes both the current administration and the previous administration. Scott Bessent is out there saying it's terrible. I don't know if you saw last week's After Hours, but we went over Bessent's interview, and he was like, not only is the jobs number bad, but the methodology for collecting the information is also bad. And this is in the Fed's purview. They're supposed to know. They have 2 mandates, jobs and prices, and they can't accurately collect the jobs numbers. So now that it's been revised and they see that it's much lower, they should be cutting. He's like, basically he was suggesting they should be cutting 1 point, like 1%. Like, it's bad. They should already have been cutting. So if they come out here and they just do 25 basis points, as if it's like, hey, this is normal, we're just starting the easing cycle, the markets can see, hey, wait a second, you're not really taking this seriously, and the markets have a conniption, right? And the markets fall. Plus, it's not what the administration wants. The Trump administration definitely wants at least 50 basis points. So who knows what comes out afterwards in the wash for that. So to me, the least volatile move is 50 basis points, because the worst that could, least volatile to the downside, because let's say the market is only priced in 25 basis points right now. If they do 50 basis points, the market will go up. The probabilities that the market goes up from there. And so if they're going to have volatility at all, you'd imagine they want volatility to the upside. This is my guess.
Okay.
But the futures market is pricing 94%, and they're not the Fed chairman, the board members aren't going around for guiding that we're going to be doing 50 basis points, which I would have expected last week, that they would have like made markets, hey, look, 50 basis points is not off the table, whatever. They didn't do that. So that's why there is a big case for 25 basis points.
Fair.
Now, what we care about this morning is what then happens during our trading session now.
That's right.
Right? Can we actually trend for the day? It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I'm anticipating we're going to have a choppy open, pretty sideways. So the trades I want to take are going to be pretty short, and we'll have to put a little bit of size on in order to make any money. So I'm probably going to look for 5 to 10 point takes, and just shoot for maybe 1 or 2 scalps and then call it, because I'm definitely not going to trade around the decision moment. I know some people like to, and that's not for me. So I'll take some. I'll take a trade on MES. We'll see where that trends for the day. Not knowing where the market's going to go, I will open up a long or short on MES. We'll just see where we open around VWAP, and then I'll open a long or short around VWAP for gold as well, and we'll simultaneously trade NQ, or at least M and Q. So let's see where we go. We got 4 minutes to the open.
Yeah, I would like to mention, because Bitcoin is my favorite asset, at least to trade. And Bitcoin generally follows unmitigated VWAP levels way better than S&P or NASDAQ, even though they have been following that. So when I take a look at Bitcoin, we're almost smack dab in between 2 major levels. And that is the 113.5 level on the downside and the 119.9 level to the upside. The bull case for me here is that we wick down to 113.5 and then we run up in the direction of the next level up, which is 119.9. That to me would be my ideal scenario. If we go the other way and we wick first to 119.9, well, that could be bad. It could be that Bitcoin then is headed down towards 92, which is the next level, the next main level lower. Which, I mean, I really can't see that really happening, but maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I think Bitcoin continues to rise, that we get through this volatility event, Bitcoin continues to rise, and we get the crash in March of next year, but we'll see. When it comes to NASDAQ, what I'm paying attention to here is the fact that we are in a consolidation zone. Mm-hmm. And in the overnight, we did wick down to the nearest unmitigated level.
I saw that too.
And then we are smack dab oscillating around the daily and the weekly VWAP. Mm-hmm. So it could not be more indecision, which means I'm expecting a candle today that's like big wick at the top, big wick at the bottom, middle body. And then later on, a break of that higher low would be the trend of that day.
Yep. We'll have to wait for the decision to get there. So if anything, the real trading activity is going to be the second half of the session here.
Yes, but scalping here at the open seems like the thing to try.
Yeah, we'll give that a go for this morning. I do think scalps are on the table. There will be some price movement, just not a lot. We'll see where the first few candles show up, though. As usual, there's usually a flush out in the first few, and then we'll see where the trend forms from there, if any. It'll probably just chop around.
So we have a minute and a half before market opens. In my dashboard, I'm just making sure that my strategy is enabled. So I have both my strategy enabled here for prop firm is on. Head over to my subscriptions and you can see my subscription is activated and connected to the appropriate account. And I'm ready to go here. I think I'm gonna change my position sizing to, let's just drop this down to 1 contract because I am not interested in taking a huge amount of risk.
Smart.
And since I cannot, actually, I'll just keep an eye on that. So let's see here. And we'll be off to the races. 30 seconds.
Okay, so I have the MES and MGC automated strategies ready to go. So depending on where we open up around VWAP here, we should be going long. But I've also got a short indicator or short line prepared here too, so that if gold decides to close below VWAP, I might just take a trade against, and there is no automated trade. I might take a short in gold. We'll just see. All right, so a small gap open for NQ, but small enough to ignore. And it looks like it's going to make a little bit of a continuation from the overnight bullish trend here that started to form from 490.
I'm taking a short here, a small short here. This is a level I was taking a look at before.
Wow, right out the gate.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going to try it all, I'll try.
I thought I was trigger happy, Tom.
This to me is
yeah, I'll wait at least the 3 candles or so.
Well, this is like one of the nearest levels, unmitigated levels for the 15-minute VWAPs that I try to take a look at. And so I like scalping from VWAP level, from 15-minute VWAP level to another 15-minute VWAP level. And so since I said to myself I was going to get there, I would short down to 24,500. So let's see how that works.
Oh, it's looking bullish.
There are right now no unmitigated levels to the upside for me on the NASDAQ. So I don't have anything that's like for me pulling the price upwards. All right, there we go. Let's see if that stays in the money. I'm not really familiar with all the hedge and dynamics that people participate in before a Fed meeting like this. I don't know how the futures market works, how the options market works.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've seen people take pretty risky plays where they'll trade the front month contract with one exchange and the same front month contract on another exchange, you know, like one at TradeStation and one at Tradevate, and they set a stop loss on either side. And so basically it's an arbitrage bet where one's going to stop and one's going to take. The problem is that you can get a whipsaw in either direction and you can trigger both stop losses and be out the money in the process. However, it's still an interesting opportunity to try to play either side of that price action. If you can measure what you think the volatility will be and set your stops appropriately and size it properly, it's a pretty interesting trade. But it is technically against the CFTC rules, and you could get into some hot water with your brokerage if you try to do it.
Good to know. What's up, Aventura Trader? Thank you for coming. Always nice to have you. And Peter, I guess it's fine. Whatever. I guess if he's here, it's
Come on, say hi to your brother.
Did
that happen a lot when you guys were kids? Where your mom always trying to like encourage you to be nicer to your brother?
Well, the issue, as always, with Peter is that Peter has always been nice to me. always 100% of the time, always, never has Peter ever been mean, which is extremely annoying. He's always in the right.
I think he has the smarter play here, let's be honest.
All right, so my short is paying off here.
Yep, same here. I decided to put a little scalp on.
I would be looking to take profits at around 24.5, but you know, by take profits, I mean just keep my move my break even up.
It's a pretty bearish opening candle on the 15.
Yeah, but easy to get. Like, I mean, I would not be surprised to see it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to break, I think roughly 489 would be my guess. Looking good so far.
Yeah.
Just took profits on that scalp.
$4.89 is 4.89 S1.
489 would be the overnight low.
I see.
499, excuse me, or yesterday's low. That's from the regular hours.
Got it.
Wow, interesting sell-off here. Are we going to get a real trend?
I don't think so. I think we're bouncing here at 24.5. We'll see if we get there.
I'm anticipating that. But sometimes the market giveth.
All right, I got bounced out.
No go on that one.
I hate here when on the 15-minute over here it wicked to that support level, but then it didn't hit there on the 1 minute. I never know what to think when my time frames are different, the levels are different. But I got out a trade, small scalp, $60. Now I got nothing to pay attention to. Normally I would go long here.
You like it from this point?
No, that's the whole thing. I don't like it. It's just momentum plays here.
And it looks like ES is trying to close above its VWAP. Same thing with gold.
The dollar's confirming its downward bias, so that's good.
All right, gold's or NQ is going to continue to go for it here.
Okay, so right around here, I would take a long if I was risky.
If you were betting, man,
I'm going to try my one long here. Very small scalp.
How's TradingView performing for you? I'm getting kind of a slow response here.
I guess I didn't notice. It seemed like it was working fine.
Okay. My webhooks were taking a bit to load, but I also have a few screens open here. Even still, it seems a little slow.
I guess I should have stayed in my short.
Well, Tom, that's a trend if I've ever identified one before.
I never look for trends at 936. I'm never going to do that.
Well, if I'm going to build a position off of it, I want to see it retrace back to VWAP first. In the meantime, right. I'm just going to keep scalping because I don't want to take the risk yet.
Ooh, confirming below the level. Oh my god.
I like it. This is pretty bearish.
It is pretty bearish.
Not a ton of momentum behind it yet. ATR is obviously still really low. It's not like there's panic on the streets yet.
All right, gonna get stopped out of my long. Is it really gonna head to 24.3? No. Could it? Maybe.
Well, I just took profits on another scalp. Gold looks like it's going long. That's interesting. Is this the engulfing candle or is it going to continue from here? That's the engulfing candle. Okay, so if it pushes up from here, let's see how it responds to VWAP, yeah?
Right. Don't tell me I got stopped out of my long early. Whatever. Very tight stops I got going on here. Anyone else has Ventura? Did your system go long or short? Are you in a trade? Wow, so many long signals here on the 1 minute.
Could be support here.
Oh, no way to know. It's just too much whipsaw. Those wicks are all over the place.
Interesting. Still going. That engulfing candle closed in the red, actually. So I would not count that yet.
Wow.
Still got a trend down.
Five minutes until the close of the 15-minute candle. What to do here?
On the 5 minute, we're looking pretty bearish here still, and we're right in the middle on MACD. So there's plenty of room to head to the downside before we're into extreme oversold territory. There's plenty.
I'm wondering if it's going to be a pullback, though.
Well, S1 for me is at 24.2. 24.288 roughly.
Right.
So there's some room to the downside. We've got some moving averages. It could clear in the meantime, but right now my main moving average would be the 55 EMA. It's just been one bearish candle after the next so far.
Jiminy Cricket. Do I want to try the short? I guess.
Scalp. I'm in the third one now.
Your first two are profitable?
The first two are profitable already. We're not picking up a ton of profit, but hey, it's something. I'm still looking for that retrace back to VWAP before I really get involved.
Right. I guess I would have to join you because this is a full-on downtrend.
There we go. There's the bounce we were expecting.
I normally like a pullback all the way to the 15-minute VWAP, which right now is at 24,503. But do I even get that? Probably. Candle's going to close in 4 minutes. Probably retrace up to there and then roll over.
All right, 15-minute candle's looking pretty bearish still. We're definitely below the moving averages. It's a pretty clean looking candle in terms of where it rests relative to those moving averages. So we're closing below the weekly, below the 55, below the 8, below the SMA, and we're about ready to break the overnight low. So the overnight low was 456.
Right, 456, right.
Nothing to do
wow.
on ES unless I want to take a short here. But I wasn't quite prepared for that.
I did turn for a little bit of a short, but I really want to pull back. So if I get a pullback on the close of this 15-minute candle or the beginning of the next 15-minute candle, then I'm definitely adding to the short.
Mm-hmm. Just one red after the next. This is crazy.
Yeah, Bitcoin is trending lower. Gold is breaking up.
Where's the dollar at?
Dollar is down to sideways. But I mean, it's full on bearish trend, like from the break lower.
Yep. Okay, oil's pretty much right in the middle where it typically lies.
I'm getting ready to add to my short.
All right, yeah, there's the pullback we were waiting for. Bottom candle at 467.
Adventurer says he's waiting for price to hit the trailing stop loss threshold. He took a short at 4:40 a.m.
ATR is still really low, interestingly. So that was just kind of a flush out there.
All right, 1 minute for the close as a 15-minute candle. All right, I'm eager to add to the short, especially if we get more of a bounce. Because this is very bearish. Come on, just bounce higher. For God's sakes, bounce higher.
Yeah,
all right, if I don't get the story here on this candle, the first minute of the 50-minute candle is usually a good time.
Let's try it here. I'm anticipating we might try to pull one more candle back. Just a little bit lower before we do the bounce. Just the momentum to the downside was so big. So we just opened the next 15-minute candle. It's opening a little bearish. And I have one NQ short at the moment.
One NQ. Nice.
ATR is low enough for me to feel pretty good here about putting a little more risk on the table. I try to avoid trading NQ if the ATR is above 20.
What'd you say ATR was at today?
Right now it's at 10.
10, okay.
That's
all right. I guess
great.
Not just getting that bounce.
That. So that's kind of what I was thinking. It wasn't closing above the AEMA and that engulfing candle. We didn't get a real engulfing candle just yet. So I went ahead and took that short on NQ and that was profitable. I still have two short contracts on MNQ that are scalping at the moment. So we'll see if we can finish those out. Up 300 so far.
Way to go.
Not a bad session so far. This is kind of what I was hoping for. Just pick up a little bit and then get out of here and call it a day, because when the Fed decision arrives, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oops.
I was going back over to see, people around Fed meetings there was like, okay, this is what happens in the first half an hour. This is what happens in the next hour. This is what happens in the next day. I'm not really finding any rhyme or reason to what happens based on the Fed cut, because it all depends on the market positioning at the time and the sentiment at the time, which I can't really backtest.
Mm-hmm.
So all these tweets all over the place about what should happen has not been helpful to me. Okay, this is the kind of pullback I was hoping for. I almost want to get in now.
Oh,
but I'd love it at, what is that? 24.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and place another small scalp line right below VWAP here. Might be able to catch it as we pull back just a little bit and see if we reject off of VWAP. So I'll take a small risk here to see if I'm right.
What do you have VWAP at there?
Session VWAP is at 498.
498, okay.
I've got a lot of friends that seem to be trading VWAP, which is great. It's such an excellent indicator, and it's used by and loved by many, which is fantastic. The one thing I've noticed and heard from people, though, is that when they use platforms like Project X, the trading charts there have slightly different volume measures than TradingView. And so VWAP ends up slightly different. They end up at like 493 or 491 instead of where TradingView prints VWAP. And even a slight difference in price or volume can make that indicator give you a slightly different value. Oh, interesting. I'm starting to take some losses here on these scalps.
All right, I just added to my short.
Yeah, I think I'm going to open another here.
Ventura
asks, are we expecting the Fed to cut rates today, or is it up in the air? There is a 94% chance that we're going to cut by 25 basis points. At least that's coming from the futures market. Tom and I agree. I think that's their only strategy at this point. That's the only thing that makes sense. We've got some people in the futures betting markets, though, poly markets, that are expecting 50 basis points today, which I would be very surprised by.
Yeah, well, I always bet. I mean, that's my bet right now on poly market, and I always take the long shot bet. I see no reason not to, because once if the odds are great, you can take a bet like that, 8 times out of 10, and if you're right, it pays for all the wrong ones, and you get some upside.
Yep.
Although Trevor was talking about his friend who takes just the ones that are at 80% probability of success, and he just rolls those. He's right more often. He makes less money, but he ends up with more money at the end of the day. So I might try that in the future. But there's just something about me, about taking the long shot bet, that just feels so good. Plus, you can be, if I take a long shot bet and there's enough time, I can be up 100, 200, 300% before the thing even resolves, because the odds change drastically, which you don't get when you're betting on the sure bet.
Got it. Will NQ go up on the price cuts? That would be the expectation. I think the market would see it as good news, and it may bounce to as high as, let's go look at the 2 hour. We may come all the way back to 24,630, 24,600, somewhere around there, or even print an all-time new high today. Interesting. All right, I'm getting stopped out quite a bit here. These scalps are not working for me.
Yeah, but in my last attempt, because we moved all the way up to the weekly VWAP, I did my last short here. If this doesn't work out, then I'll be stopped out.
I also took a short on gold, which is starting to play out.
Oh yeah, short on gold. That reads right.
So short on gold, long. I think at this point I'm probably gonna have to move to long NQ.
Really? Huh.
Well, we're about ready to post above VWAP here. We've almost completely erased that down move.
But the move is so in line with the oscillations of the chart since the overnight.
I'm with you. I'm not ready yet. I got to see where these candles close. It still feels like it could reverse from here. Looking at the 2 hour chart, it's a doji. 15 minutes still below its moving averages. So it could reverse. I'm with you.
Right. All right, I just got a sell signal. Yeah.
I was up. I'm down a couple hundred now, so.
Sitting here. I always like that feeling when I'm in the market and I go, now I need it to move in the way that I need to move. Now it's like, all right, problems. Does it feel like a I was going to say holiday when it's a Fed day to you, but does it feel like a whatever that feeling a holiday is? Does it feel that way in any way on a Fed day, or is it to you? It's just like another report that day, another piece of information, or does it feel substantial to you?
I think it would only feel like a holiday if I was taking the day off as well today and had plans to go somewhere or something.
Well, like Valentine's Day, you know how Valentine's Day you don't get a day off or anything like that, but it's like a thing you need to keep. It's like it's a milestone, a marker in your mind that you have to watch out for.
Sure.
I wonder if To me, it feels like a Valentine's Day. It feels like a Halloween when the Fed meetings.
I guess I could see that.
There should be Hallmark cards. Hey, today's Fed Day.
I hope they're
Congratulations! It's a rate
I hope
cut.
they're signed by Powell as well. With love, Jerome Powell. All right, Tom. What are we doing here? What is this?
I'm still short. I'm short.
I'm only short gold at the moment, and that's starting to play out. This price action on NQ though, it's starting to look a lot more bullish. But
yeah, especially if you look at S&P, it just made a new local high.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that.
And my automated strategy might take a long on ES as well. Just a slightly different story on NQ.
I guess I just don't believe in trends pre-Fed meetings.
I don't believe in trends at all anymore since we haven't had any in like 6 weeks. It's just been choppy nonsense over and over again.
Well, we did have a trend the Friday before last.
Don't remind me of that. I finally forgot about that. You're just trying to provoke my saltiness against, aren't you?
Okay, well, we pulled back, but to 50-minute VWAP, let's see if it continues lower.
That was a nice rejection candle right there. For anybody who was trying to go long there, they're getting forced out now.
To me, the sus candle is always like, you get that close on the 1 minute above VWAP, and then a bunch of systems are coming in. They want to come in and go long, and then they get reversed right away.
Yep.
Just rinsed out.
So gold just doesn't want to do it yet. It keeps bouncing off of EVWAP. So my short is at break even still. And NQ wants to break down, but now it's stalled here at VWAP.
ES also got pushed. That candle on the 15-minute got pushed lower. Let's see if it recovers.
Yep, I see that here. Same story.
If there's no trend and there's no levels above me, well, there is one level above me that got created, which is at 24,548. Will it go there? I don't think so. I think we head lower. It all depends how this 15-minute candle closes for me. So we have 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I saw someone set up a oh my god. My internet is still here. All right, Michael, come back later. Meanwhile, I'm in profit on my short.
I'm back. Give me a sec here. My internet's going bad.
No worries.
And while all this is happening, I'm coming back to seeing I'm in profit. This is great. Okay, cool. My local internet service provider is just so fantastic. I'm gonna have to. I actually lost internet for half of a day on Monday, so it just went out on me again. I'm thinking whatever the issue was on Monday is starting to come back. Okay, I was hoping to take a bigger scalp trade there, and I may still do that. I want to go short 1 NQ here, but I'm a little hesitant because I don't want to lose my internet again. That's a hazard nobody wants. All right, let's try it. We haven't.
If your internet cuts out, it means that Jesus is taking the wheel and he's taking the trading from then on. Or think about it this way: you came back from the future, and you're somewhere else cutting out your internet because you know it's
just
be the
just to
trade.
keep me in the trade.
That's right.
Yeah. I've thought
Back to
about
the
that a
future
lot.
rules.
Like sometimes you just need to sit on your hands when you're in a good position. All right. Do the bears want it? If they want it, let's go.
I mean, if it follows through lower over here, it'd be following exactly in line with how the market's been moving since yesterday. So
True.
Since yesterday, 3 o'clock.
Well, I'm short 1 M and Q. I'm short 1 NQ now, and I'm still short gold. Let's see if we can get this short to play out, though. Not a fan of this bounce.
No, but it's because the candle is about to close in 40 seconds.
15-minute. Yep.
Sorry, the 1 minute candle. No, the 50-minute candle, yeah, it's also closing in 30 seconds.
We're on the same page. There we go. Come on, a little farther. This is annoying, Tom, when I make very small scalp trades and it still takes 5 minutes to get to profit. Like, come on, man. We should be there in just a few seconds. All right, there we go. So I'm out of that NQ trade. I'm going to go ahead and start stacking up some smaller M and Q scalps now that we're below VWAP again.
So you're in profit, back in profit for the day?
Yeah, I'm up 300 now.
Okay, so that candle we just had is like one of those nightmare candles where people like, someone on that candle quit trading.
Yeah.
They're like, forget it, I can't do this.
I'm
it was
never doing
green
this
the
again.
whole way. And they're like, I can't make money when the candle is green the whole way up and then it just completely closes doji style.
Yep.
That's enough to ruin someone's week.
I completely agree. And hey, listen, you're not a trader unless you've been through that emotional roller coaster of, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I wasting my time with this? Right. If you haven't questioned yourself over and over and over again, or wondered to yourself that you're never going to make any money doing this, then you're not a real trader. Like, you have to lose money and you have to question yourself constantly before you finally figure out that this really isn't the kind of game that you can improve at until you really improve your consistency and risk management process. That's I have to remind myself of that all the time. When I get off track, it's because I know I'm doing something that's against my rules.
Well, the adage of look at candle closes, right? The way the candle closes, that closing price is a totally different story than what happens on that candle, which has two derivatives. One is you have to allow for your position to be able to fluctuate between the highs and lows of that candle. And two, almost never does a candle close at the high or close at the low. So if you're like, oh, this is where it is, and this is, you're looking at your closing price and it's near the high or near the low, you're like, then you have to assume it's going to pull back from there because it hardly ever closes at the high or low.
That's true.
Look at that.
It looks like my short in gold isn't playing out. No long was taken on MES. That's good. I'm going to wait to see if gold closes above VWAP, and then I may exit that short.
Oh, yeah. Well, gold is bouncing off of both the weekly and the daily VWAP.
Yeah, and if NQ is going to keep falling like this, then gold should rise.
Right.
All right, I'm just going to keep throwing on these little scalp shorts with every 1 minute candle that closes in the red. And I'm just going to keep following price here.
Well, the likelihood that we're headed to S1 is like high now.
Yeah. I'm not sure I want to build a trend position though. I'm still hesitant because I just think, are we in a trendy market yet, Tom? Or is this going to bounce again, close above VWAP, maybe even hit a new high of the day, and then decide to fall down to S1?
Right. Well, the next potential bounce level here is at 24,430. Sorry, 24,440.
Mm-hmm.
And then another level at 24,369. Your S1's at 2 something, right?
280, I believe. Yeah.
280, yeah.
All right, let's do another one here. Yeah, I got 280 is S1. All right, how have we done so far? So I've made 385 on NQ. I'm down $16 on MNQ, and I'm down $19 on MGC. So far, all of our profit has come from the bigger 10-point scalps on NQ, which have been well placed so far. So ATR has come up to 13 now. I think if I'm going to make another scalp trade, I actually want to match the size of ATR, take a little more profit off the table. So what I do is I just edit my message and I change my take profit to 13, and I set the stop a little bit higher as well. Try to do about one negative RR, if you will, of 1.5 to 1. All right, so we retraced back to this short-term EMA, which I usually like to keep an eye on. I'm already short 1 MNQ. I want to see if we break off of this line. There we go.
Man, the 15-minute VWAP is so useful for NASDAQ. Wow. Can't believe it. That's where we're bouncing and oscillating around right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we bounce to 24, 484 and then roll over.
VIX is the VIX has only been the VIX is actually going down right now as we're in this sell-off. That's fascinating. We're at 1631. I was just kind of curious if volatility was rising at all, and it's not.
Well, market down, vol down, right? Because the if volatility is not well supplied during this period of time, we're headed in all these different expirations.
Mm-hmm.
You can have no move in the VIX. I have to go back over the construction of the VIX because it's so different than other like indices for these sorts of things. I used to know it
blend
more.
of M1 and M2, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a way that because of the products that the structured products that are structured around the VIX, it can sort of distort the volatility, the implied volatility of that asset.
Yeah.
And so, like, some people don't look at the 30 days out; they look at the 60 days out in order to get a better idea. Some people look at the VVIX instead. Other people look at like the volley ETF, which is it's a type of, anyways, implied volatility ETF you can take a look at. Some people just swear that the VIX is not a trustworthy tool anymore, like it was, let's say, 10 years ago. But I don't know enough about the construction of the options around that space.
Okay. I tried to take an NQ short here, but I may get whipsawed out of this. I saw 3 candles rejecting off of that 8 EMA, and I was expecting we would head down, but we're not. So this is that choppy environment that I keep talking about that is driving me nuts.
Well, I'm just as confident about a short here as I was back at 24.5.
That's great. I hope I don't get stopped out prior to that.
Right.
I'm going to let it run because I'm not seeing a higher candle yet from this little sequence. But
your stop should be the liquidation of the account. That's the stop level.
Oh no!
Your stop price is
no. I'm not doing that,
Tom. When you see the 3 red candles in that way, do you follow the 3 black crows, 3 white soldiers pattern?
Not really. I think that one was more about rejection off of the 8 EMA, a second rejection, and a third that was clearly breaking down to a new low, and it seemed to be invalidating this reversal, but then it just immediately turned right back around. I didn't anticipate that.
I see.
But here we go. It could just be a short-term anomaly, and now it may continue downward from here. I still have a short in gold, 2 short on M and Q, and 1 short on NQ now. The gold is starting to just dance around VWAP again, which happened in yesterday's session as well before it finally found a trend. Aventura says that he's moved his stop loss to break even and a trailing stop loss is activated. Nice work.
Awesome.
At the end of the day, that's what we got to do, is manage that risk.
There's too much time left in this 15-minute candle. All kinds of things can happen. We can get a jump up to 24,494, which I would not like right now. Do I want to just take my profits now or let it ride? What am I talking about? I'm a let it ride kind of guy.
All right.
Why do I ever pretend?
I like the confidence there, Tom.
More like irresponsibility.
Why is the market selling off if we are expecting rate cuts? I think the only thing I can explain that is in one word, which is uncertainty.
That's right. You got to imagine that you're sitting there with a $2 billion portfolio and it's not your money. Your job's on the line. You don't want to be running into a train coming going, hey, let me just hope everything's going to be fine. You have to manage risk. And otherwise, someone taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, you're out of here. Get the next guy in. And so I've always loved that idea from Ken Carson, where he talks about forced buyers and forced sellers.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know that there who and what kind of players are there who have to buy and who have to sell because of their positions. And then it's sort of like knowing the future a little bit.
Oh, I don't like this zone right here. What are we doing?
Well, we're oscillating around the 15-minute VWAP, right? So
that's true.
And it's like bearish consolidation around that area.
All right, it just needs to drop here, Tom. I hate these. This is not the market I like trading. I would have gladly have just taken the last 6 weeks off, to be honest.
Really?
I remember hearing a video from, or one of the many lessons I took away from S&P Capital from watching their stuff on YouTube. And their team, many of them won't even trade the market until the VIX is over 20. They just don't like these low vol environments, and I don't blame them. It makes sense. All right, I was somewhat back at break even here on this NQ trade, so I think I'm going to move my stop a little bit closer just to try to keep this mitigated, but I'd like it to fall from here while it's below the AEMA.
Well, anything could happen in the next 3 minutes for this candle.
Anything can happen, my favorite phrase.
And the range that has been for this consolidation zone in this 50-minute candle has it up as a 24,478 as the high end. So
got it.
It can go all the way over there. The low end is 24,447. So
here again, look at how thin the liquidity is here on NQ as well.
Yeah.
We're on the 1 minute chart and only 15 NQ contracts have been traded.
Wow.
That just cracks me up on how uncertain everyone is right now, and liquidity just dried up.
And then it makes it that people can paint the tape.
Yeah.
They can make the candles look like what they need to do in order to trigger algorithmic buys and sells, which is why things like this sometimes pop with a big candle or whatever, just to make it so that the 50-minute candle closes in a certain pattern, which you can do in low volume.
Oh, I hate this position right now.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a tiny scalp, and I'm sitting in this thing for the better part of 10 minutes now. This is ridiculous. I think this is going to be my last trade.
Fair enough.
All right, so it's back in this consolidation. I've got my stop kind of at the top of this consolidation here, and it's a little tighter than the original stop loss was set to. Um, I want to see if it'll fall from here, but I'm losing confidence pretty fast.
Same. We just got to buy signal at the 5 minute.
Yeah. Oh, I hate this so much. Well, at least we're pretty much at break even. I've been managing risk a lot better these last few days around this chop, and not taking huge losses, but there we go. Is that going to finally fall?
Well, we have a full minute left, so remember, this is what I was just saying before, folks. If you haven't trade consolidation ranges, the wicks of that ranges tells you the high and low of that area. So it can go anywhere within there in a second. All right, final minute.
On the 15.
On the 15, yes.
Excuse me.
It's all about those closes, folks. All about those closes.
All right. MES appears to be falling in a much cleaner way, too. I got to close out of my gold trade. That one's dead. So gold is a long now. It actually might take the long in the automated strategy. Let's see where that goes.
10 seconds for the 15-minute candle. Oof. All right. I'm closing out of that. I'll just eat my profit there. I don't like the way that closed.
I don't like this new 15-minute either.
Nope.
Good Lord. All right. Well, there goes my profit for the day. That looked like the right one too. I mean, we're still below VWAP. We hit this weird consolidation range. I see our low of the day so far at 447. I don't want to hold on to this trade for too long because I try never to hold on to my losers. I'll probably just let the next couple of candles close because we're still at the top of that weird consolidation range. There's no liquidity here. This is very interesting to see, 11 contracts traded in a single minute.
It's the calm before the storm.
I'm having a hard time believing the price action just because of how little liquidity there is.
Right.
There we go. All right. That actually saved me right there. Can we go a little further?
Yeah. I mean, I still do think 24,317 is calling the price lower. I just wasn't willing to pay to find out the path it takes to get there.
Yeah. Well, I still have 2 M&Q short, 1 NQ short still waiting for this to play out. My automated strategy just took a long on gold.
All right. Are you willing to call a close for now?
Let's see. Do you want to give it a couple minutes here? Let's see if this NQ trade plays out.
Sounds good to me.
We just opened a 1-minute candle below the AEMA. I'd like to see if we can break out of this consolidation range. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and move my stop down to the middle of this consolidation. I'll try to take a much tighter loss if I'm wrong. There we go.
Well, it's invalidating the low on the 5. So I think we're going to get the move now. Plus, we're in the middle of 15-minute candle. Whenever the move happens, I feel more confident when it happens in the middle of the 15-minute candle.
It just bounced off this little range again. Let's see. I'm barely even. I can see why people get conspiratorial sometimes about their trades, though. They're like, the market knows where my entry is. No, you just took the same entry we all did.
That's right. The conspiracy is that you're a human being, and
The
you think
conspiracy is you're not trading in any unique way. We're all trading the same thing. Goodness. Just bounced off the range again.
Is your stop above 468?
My stop is at 471 right now.
Okay. Wow, that's real close.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it tight because it's either going to fall and break down out of this range, or it's going to try to reverse again and touch the top of the range, and I don't want to wait much longer. In fact, I might even just take profits here at the bottom of the range because it's heading towards it right now.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, there we go. So that'll be a $65 trade, no big deal. But at least I'm out and the stress is over. So, I'm up 450 on NQ now. MNQ, I still have 2 short, and I went long on gold, and it's turning around on me again. This sucker will not cooperate. So we're up 360 for the day in my account, and hopefully I can get gold to play out and recover some of the loss that I took on the short, and get M&Q to continue a trend from here and take some profit on those scalps. But I think that that wraps it up. So we just demonstrated a few different ways we can trade prop firm accounts using line alerts, using different types of strategies, trading both NQ and MNQ from the NQ chart at the same time, simply by controlling what message we send to TradersPost. So if I want to trade NQ, I send it the exact contract symbol, the ticker to trade. And then if I want to trade MNQ, I might have a different alert that gets sent to TradersPost for MNQ. But in either case, I can trade both symbols from the same chart. And then I have an automated strategy set up for MES, an automated strategy set up for gold. And all this is kind of happening at the same time. If I want to keep an eye on what's happening in my accounts, I just head over to my dashboard. I can see the incoming signals for my trades on those dashboards for each type of strategy. Or I can just go to the dashboard for the strategy and see which accounts are connected and what current open positions there are on one of the accounts. If you guys have questions about TradersPost and how we're using this to scale prop firm accounts, or how to automate strategies, or how to manage and scale your discretionary trading across accounts, just reach out to us. We're always available. We're right now supporting thousands and thousands of customers, about 32,000 people that have signed up for TradersPost. So we've got a lot of customers that are using our platform for all kinds of different needs in stocks, options, futures, crypto. We cover all kinds of different asset classes, but every day Tom and I have been showing up to trade prop firm accounts because it's kind of a fun, risk-free way to use the system as well. But we've been trying to prove out this model that prop firm trading can be done on TradersPost as well.
Exactly right. If you're interested in trying it out, please take advantage of the code that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, PropScaling20. That'll give you 20% off your plan, including add-ons. So if you already have an account with us, please go ahead and take advantage of that. We want you to be successful, because the more successful you are, the more fun we all have, and the better the world is. That's right. TradersPost is here to make the world a better place, one trade at a time. Hey, that's the tagline. We found it, folks. We found it.
I like it.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the post-Fed wrap-up. Until then, we wish you, as always, happy trading.
Cheers, everyone.